Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It is Thursday, it is noon Central Time, and that means it's time for Dispatching Live, where we check the load boards, we give load board search advice, tips, and we want you to search along with us. And so if you are family member, dispatcher, driver, whatever, if you're checking loads on the load boards, here's what I want you to do. Go ahead, you see below the screen, you see that like button. After you hit that for me, go ahead and click that share button, which will lead you to the copy button. You can grab that YouTube link, text it, email it, share it on social media, let somebody know. We're going to be live for the next 90 minutes. We're going to be looking at loads. We want to know, what's your route scout? What are you looking for? Where are you? Are you stuck? You know, where do you need to go? And then tell us your trailer capacity. Feel free to promote your company, product, and services. And also, if you need help, you're stuck, right? Go to autotransportintel.com. Click on sign up. We'll put you in touch with Ty Thompson, our lead coach. Also, you can join our roundtable and go ahead and join the live chat. Say hello. Let us know what's going on. We got Murphy Auto Transport Services in the live chat. We're gonna be with Sue here in a second. Carlos Braxton, what's up, buddy? ACB Logistics in the house. And Jalissa Campasano says hello too. So that is super cool. So it is now time. I've got your audio on. Sue, can you see us and hear us? Okay?
Yes.
Hey, yo.
I can. Can you hear and see me?
Yeah, hey. All right, right out of the box. So, and Fritz is here too. What's up, Fritz? Thanks for saying hello, buddy. So, Sue, how are you doing?
Fritz. I'm doing okay. The loads are actually been pretty decent this week, and we've been moving pretty easy. Got some really good loads out of Cleveland. As everybody knows, I love that place. So that in Detroit. And as far as I've got the load board up for the total amount, we're at 37,590. I think that went up.
Yeah, I think oh shoot, I forget to check, but it did go up maybe a few grand.
I think it was like 34.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well, I thought it was 34, 35, something like that. The Lone Star is now 50. I usually write it down too. I just don't have it handy in front of me at the moment.
I know. Well, the weeks, man, it's funny. Since we're on this schedule to do these shows, doesn't time move faster?
Oh yeah, I agree.
Oh, man, cool. We got people popping in the live chat here. Matt Mendoza's here. Yeah. PSRI 88, what's up? Michael Watson says hello. Chris Chamberlain is in the house.
Hey, Carlos.
That is awesome. Yeah, Carlos is in here.
Julissa. Hey, guys.
Wow, Chris says this channel's been invaluable for helping him plan his transport startup. That is really cool. Michael Watson enjoyed the roundtable. Thank you so much. Oh, Ty is in here, too. Ty says he loves you.
Hey, Ty. Hey, Ty. I love you too.
Hey. It's a family. So, all right. It is a family. Yeah, that roundtable Tuesday. Here, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the screen. See if I can. I'm taking it. You'll have to reshare it. But I want to share the family photo that we got of the round table from Tuesday night. I shared this on social media when this is as of this morning. I posted on LinkedIn, Facebook. I think it went out on Twitter. If you go to autotransportintel.com and you click on the show Groundhogs Roundtable, the video description, there's time codes for everybody that was there. I did the podcast. I have been a busy bee. So, did we lose Sue? How funny. So anyways, that was an amazing show. And then, Reese got a hold of Hank Seaton's book yesterday on DOT compliance. Let's go ahead and let me get the transportation. Yeah, you go to transportationlaw.net. You click on order book. This is how you get Rules of the Road. Rules of the Road book. And here's the link. It's in the live chat. And so the law office of Seaton and Husk does appreciate your business, and it is a great book. Man, I should, you know what, my copy's over there. I need to go bring it over here. leave it on the table. So yeah, that's really cool. Thank you, Reese, for saying hello as well and getting the book and getting informed. So I think we lost Sue. She'll be back though. She has her, Oh no, she is back. Is she back? Sue? I don't know if she can hear me or not. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the round table, and amazing stuff. And I don't know how we accelerate. I don't know. So we have 16. There's 16 people here, and I don't know. Can we get to 32 on the next one? To get to 32, we'd probably have to invite like 50. Because we understand there are no shows. We had a couple folks, tied up with the weather up in New York and New Jersey. And then, some folks are busy driving, delivering, this is transportation and logistics. So we understand if you can't make it. But we appreciate it when you can, and your questions, your input. So, Sue, are we back?
I'm back. We're just getting a really bad storm. So
you are? Well, I saw it was snowing or something out there. Feel free to share your screen again when you're ready. So we're just gonna, we're gonna roll on through this thing.
Okay.
And by the way, speaking of rolling on, I think is the storm in Michigan now?
Oh God, I hope not. Is it? Let me go look.
Yeah, right. Well, I know. Isn't it funny? Like we hear about the weather, we see the weather, and then we're like, oh my God, that's right. I got to check the weather. It's January, it's February. I got to check the weather again. Michael says his favorite moment of the night was Carlos stepping up with the candy introduced with Kathy. Yeah. Yep. Thank you, Michael. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they're getting snow up in Detroit right now.
They're getting snow in Detroit. Uh-huh. Okay. So, don't forget to pack your snowblower so you can clean off
usually
your
ramps. If Michigan's getting it and Ohio's getting it too, it's kind of usually a whole swath.
When is that van pickup you were talking about?
Today.
Yay!
He didn't say anything.
Yeah.
He's in Cleveland right now. He just dropped 2 in Akron, picked up 1 in Akron, and I got a killer van out of Cleveland area going to Atlanta for $1,100.
That's one load for $1,100.
That's just one vehicle.
Cleveland.
The other 2 were paying $650, and I believe the other one is $600.
Now
so he's going with those 3.
While we share this good news, we're not like this is not an advertisement or clickbait as something to expect on a regular basis.
Right, absolutely not.
Okay.
I will say what you can expect on a regular basis out of Cleveland going to Atlanta is anywhere between 5 and 6, though. That's a normal rate.
By the way, let's just put this to rest. Can you make $9,000 in a week with a 4 or 5 car trailer?
No.
Right. No.
No.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Now,
good.
on average, Ty asked me the other day, like my 3 cars on average, if they're established and they're runners, because there's lots of factors in all this stuff, but on average, a 3 car should make $4,500 to $5,000 a week if it's a good week. If it's a slow week, you're in the $4,000 range. You know what I mean? My 4 cars make anywhere between. I have slow drivers and I have fast drivers, so let's just put it that way. On average, I've got a guy that usually makes 6 to 7, another guy that usually makes 6 to 7, and one guy that usually makes around 5. So that'll kind of give you an idea of what you should be making. And we run mainly the Midwest, and by Midwest I mean like Ohio, Kentucky, Georgia, Arkansas, Texas, Kansas City, St. Louis, that kind of thing.
Now,
sometimes Iowa, sometimes Minnesota, but very rare.
So Debbie Downer is going to jump in the middle of the party here for a second. Are you going to set your calculator that you're counting 20 G's every month and just running to the bank, or is there more to know to the downside of getting $5,000 a week?
Well, like I said, it all depends on what's going on. So I pretty consistently on the 3 cars make $3,500 to $5,000. But like I said, it all depends on how fast you are.
Gross revenue.
That's gross.
Gross revenue.
Right. That's not, with your expenses taken out. So you got to keep that in mind.
Do you know?
But
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, do you
Go ahead.
know out of that 35 to 5,000 range? Again, don't set your calculators at 5.
Right.
Do you know what you have to subtract for expenses, etc., maintenance, tolls,
No,
terrible,
I
terriblicity?
don't. I'm assuming the
Ah,
driver
we need to
does.
get that number, and we need to make that video, and then, dear clickbait, you
Right.
didn't take 20 G's to the bank as previously mentioned in your previous video.
Now I know I had a 4 car, and he used to tell me
That
that
being rough, right?
that he needed at least $600 a day for all of the expenses. Um, but I think that's probably changed because he bought a way more expensive trailer after that.
$600 a day. Now I'm gonna
Is
get my
what he needed.
calculator. $600 a
Yeah.
day. By the way, just have one of these. I know I've got a phone, I've got a computer too, but you know what? I got it $10 on Amazon. I love this thing. $600 a day, and I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go 6 days just to be right. 3,600.
It's not the new Kingbird.
All
Yes.
right, out of 3,500 to 5,000. So did I
Well,
take?
no,
No.
this is a 4 car. So
Okay, 4 car.
my four
Good.
car usually
That was
averages
half.
at least six grand a week. Yes.
Okay, right.
So
So
that'll kind of
half
tell you right there.
half went to expenses. There we go. There's the new video that needs to be on YouTube. No matter what mountain of cash I brought in, half went to expenses. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Keith is here, 2010. Yeah. Please clarify, Keith. I don't know what that means, but it's probably in reference to something I said. Oh, and Catherine is here. Happy Tuesday. What's going on, Catherine? Shannon Beatty, Roadrunner Express is here. What's up? It's interesting. After the roundtables, I mean, like now when I see Roadrunner Express, I know exactly who that is. When I see Catherine,
cool.
I know who that is, right?
Yeah.
I know Carlos. I can see Carlos in my mind. Keith, I just have one of those like blank profile faces. I want to know Keith, right? I want to know Michael. I want to know Reese. These roundtables really make me want to know who's in the. It's awesome. It's really incredible. I know I get so excited. I need to calm. I think I need to calm down. Sue, take the reins. What are we doing?
I don't know. Nobody's asked us to look for a load. So
Didn't we have? I thought I saw one.
is there? Okay, we'll go back.
Well, PSRI says hello from Baltimore. So we don't have. Yep, Shannon Beatty's here. Oh, here we go. Keith
Ohio
is
to
saying.
Maryland.
Okay, Ohio to Maryland. Okay, yeah. Keith says 20,000 a month equals 10,000 a month. There you go. Perfect. And that's because we need easy guidelines are good things. 50% of your mountain of cash will go out the window. There's your new YouTube video. There we go. Thank you.
Yes, and I also think you have to put so much away as well every week.
Well, thank you.
That's unexpected
expenses. And that's why Rich talks about giving your truck away one bolt at a time. Because if you are going to go to the carnival and drop that 10, you got nothing for the future problem, which is coming. If you've been in this business, you know it's coming.
It always happens. Trust me.
Jay,
the guy that dropped his motor out of his truck while he was driving down the road. You know what I mean? So, all right. So, Fritz, we're at in Ohio. Are you at? Columbus, Cleveland, Cincinnati. I don't want to just put up the whole state for you. I can. I guess we'll start that way.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. He wants a 3-pack, so that'll make it a little bit easier. But I'm going to put in Maryland and Virginia. I got to get us a little bit more options because I don't think we're going to find it if we don't. And as we all know, most everything goes to port in Maryland. So keep that in mind.
She's setting up her search filters. Everybody get ready. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, we still got a couple more fields. Come on, lucky sevens.
Columbus area, he just said. Okay. Well, I just pulled it up for all right here, so we'll see what's on here. Well, as we can see, there's only 8 with a minimum of 2. That's never a good sign.
Oh.
Um, okay. It looks like Orgill has some, which is funny because they haul for me. So let's go see if they're a broker. No, their carrier lists 9 packs.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a yellow card? By the way, we're going to talk about these cards. That's yellow. We'll give a yellow card. Okay. All right. This is your first warning. Like it's your first warning.
And if you look, it says they're actually picking up in Toledo. They're not in Columbus. So I bet it's the same load. And they've just listed it 3.
Double listed?
Well, there's another load. Or it says multiple loads available.
They have a customer,
but they're all up in Toledo, and they are a transporter. They are not a broker.
For real? Man.
Yep. Take that how you want.
But. Well, you know what? It's all, it's those stinking illegal dispatchers,
Yeah. Let's see. There's really not a lot on here. There's this 3-pack, but it's up in Toledo, which Columbus is pretty far from Toledo. And it's going to Oakland, Maryland, which that doesn't sound familiar to me. Let's go look that up.
Did you say Oakland, Maryland?
Yeah, I've never heard of Oakland, Maryland.
Is that near Miami,
it's nowhere
Oklahoma?
Near Baltimore. I bet it's across the water. That is what I'm trying to find out. Let's see.
That's right. Catherine is looking for drivers. If you are a driver or know of a driver, Catherine is down in Florida. Also, Michael Watson, he gives a breakdown here. This is good. 10% fuel, 10% insurance, 10% dispatcher, 25% driver pay, 45% owner expenses. Adds up to 100%.
Yep. So Oakland is way over here, which is that's probably why I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
They're on kind of on the borders, but I mean to go up, and it said three deliveries too.
It's like Civil War area.
Look, 3 drops.
Really?
So where are they really dropping?
Bring up the Civil War again. Oh, PSRI says Western Maryland. But when I say Civil War area, John Bloom, if he goes there, he's going to take photos. He's going to be there, right, with the popcorn.
He was at the Mothman. Yeah, yesterday he was at Mothman.
He's going to go downtown to learn the name of the oxes, You know
what the worst thing is he did to me today? Okay, so I'm on a diet, right? I've already lost 33 pounds, so I'm pretty good. And then he says to me, I'm at a Mennonite place right now, and I'm picking up, what do you call it? What kind of pie?
A blueberry something.
Well, no, those were totally different. He bought all kinds of crap. Anyway, so there was some kind of peach. Yeah, peach pie that probably, as you look at it, you gain weight. And he's like, but I also had to pick up these other pies that were blueberry and cream cheese and strawberry and cream cheese. And he's sending me pictures, and he's like, do you want any of these? I'm like, really? No. And I don't know if anybody knows. I think we talked about this, but John screwed himself up like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, well, he fell off the treadmill, right?
Yes.
Too many.
And his toe.
That's too many beignets down in New Orleans, right? He had to get on the treadmill.
Yeah. His toe was bad. They sent me a picture of him and his wife, right?
Ooh.
And I told him why were you on the treadmill without shoes on? But anyways, so when he's showing me these pictures today, I'm like, okay, so you realize after you go eat this, you're gonna have to go back on that treadmill.
Right. Exactly. Well, and it's funny. You said the Mennonite place, because like in Iowa, what is it in Iowa? There's it's Amish. Like Amish. Is it Amish?
Yeah, we have them down here in Branson too.
Everybody knows that area. We have it. Yeah, exactly. And Missouri has that stuff too on I-70. Right, and you go in there and you buy a bunch of stuff you don't need.
Yes, homemade breads, and I mean, yeah.
Carlos,
but
Carlos. So that's what Carlos says. He has no time for that. Since you booked for Carlos, I guess you'd have to budget that in. Listen, Carlos, I got a load for you, but if you budget in stopping at the Mennonite place and picking up pies, you're gonna miss your Copart pickup.
Well, John loves to stop at any kind of major.
I know.
I mean, and he knows everything. I've heard, the background between KFC, and he's been, if we're going someplace cool, he stops at those
Yeah.
places, and I get to see his
And
pictures
then he
every
learns the
single time.
history, and then he posts it
Yes,
on Facebook. I'm like,
yes.
when do you drive?
Yeah, because he posts a lot. I think he does it when he's sitting at night when he's, just hanging out with his cat. So
Hey, by the way, Michael says he likes that Oakland load. You want to show that again?
yeah. You see though that this Oakland load has got 3 drops, and they're not telling you. You're gonna have to find out. I've had people do where they say it's 3 drops and they're 100 miles apart. So
I
definitely
know.
call, ask, get the zip codes for all the places. But it is up in Toledo though, so.
Yeah, personally, I don't like that. I'm glad they said. I really appreciate that they said it, but I don't really like it. So you gotta talk to them and find out because it could be okay, but it could be three
Could be okay.
dealerships 100 miles away from each other.
Yeah. I mean, if they're all right next to each other, I get it. But I will say, like, unless you live, I don't know if you'll get out of Oakland, Maryland. You have to drive someplace to get loaded because I don't think there's a lot of loads out of that area.
Well, and that's true. But by the time you make your third delivery, you might be in West Virginia. You know,
or Baltimore.
Right. Too. Catherine asked a great question in the live chat. Have I ever thought of actually calling to book a load while I'm live on the show? Now I used to actually try that. Well, the problem is you never know what's going to happen, and I don't want to divulge personal info. So if I want to book the load, how am I going to book the load and say my company name and information?
Right.
There's that problem. Then there's also the broker, you're going to get that guy that's like, well, it's illegal to record me, so I don't really do that anymore. But I love the idea.
Booked them.
What's that?
We have booked them. I've had Jen call and get loads for some of my drivers before, and we booked them right there while we were on the show. You guys just couldn't hear us.
That's the thing, exactly. But they're not on speakerphone, right? So that's what we've done to kind of split the differences. Jen makes a phone call in the background, hush, hush,
yeah,
and all that stuff.
And there were actually loads we took, and we actually ran with our drivers. They weren't just like we were just calling to ask if the load was available or anything like that.
Let's see here. That's what worries me, the after booking process for the driver as well. Well, and that's why. So some of my earlier videos where I'm calling and booking a load, I don't know the names of them anymore. I think if you were to type in like car hauling dispatcher or booking a load, you're gonna there are clickbait videos of people getting rich and throwing money around. My videos are more about the process and things to do to make sure you don't get screwed. In fact, the video could be called How Not to Get Screwed When Booking a Load. But even that may not be true because sometimes there's no way to ensure you don't get screwed. No, amen?
You don't know until you start verifying stuff. I mean, honestly. There's just always things you need to be aware of when you're
You don't know until the driver gets there. Because, I mean, hey, Sue, how about this one? You've called the resident and said the driver's on the way, and they're like, great. Driver gets there, there's no car.
Right.
How about this one? This true story. I sent John to pick up a load. He gets there, and the lady goes, oh my God, I don't have the keys. Really?
Yeah, I've had that happen.
Where are they? Get this. She mailed them to the delivery location.
Yep. Why? Well, I called and found that out. Yeah.
You just thought of?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. In fact, it happened to me with John down in Atlanta, Georgia, too. We called to verify, and she's like, well, do you need the keys? And I said, yeah. And she's like, well, we mailed them to where it's going to. I'm like, how'd you think we were going to take it? Oh, you need the keys? Yeah. So yeah, I had to ship them back, but we didn't take it because of that.
You need the keys and it's not free? What kind of thing is? Well, but I was promised. Then you always get that, but I was promised. Yes. Great questions going on here. Keith, most likely zip code to zip code, thumbs down. Fritz wants to know how we feel about the VTAS app. That's actually a good question. Let's talk about VTAS and let's talk about ACV. First, VTAS. How do you feel about? Do you have an opinion of the VTAS app?
Yes, I do.
Hmm.
Well,
Do tell.
I mean, I don't use it. I know the guys use it, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's okay. Is he going there first? He can pull them and put them in the parking lot.
You hear her?
Okay,
See,
so
she's
what's
busy. She's
anyways,
working.
the VTAS app. My problem with it is this, and that the guys will call and tell us it's not working. And I honestly think it has something to do, usually with the internet, wherever they're at, is not catching it. So a lot of the guys just don't use it. So, I mean, I would rather them use it just because I like them to use both, and they get pissy if you don't use their app.
And that is, by the way, just to add this, everybody gets
pissy
when you don't use their app. I mean,
yes.
That is standard, right?
That is standard. They all want us to use these other apps.
And there are many reasons. There's accounting reasons. There's customer reasons. There's, when you're a large organization, the last thing you want to do is try to be taking a photograph of a phone with a Polaroid, with a fax machine, and a handwritten note. Yep. You just want it inside of your technology. So I get it.
Right.
But when there are complaints about mobile apps, it just seems to go, well, I know this personally.
No.
Hey, we have a complaint about your mobile app.
I didn't send him anything.
Done. Closed.
No, he got it from pickup.
Okay, so, and ACV. We're going to talk about ACV. What did you want to say about ACV?
They changed the rules for sign up. Before you could sign up, it didn't matter how old the company was or anything like that. Now they're telling us, we just tried to sign up one of our new drivers, and they told us that he had to be in business for 4 months. So that's their new rule, 4 months. Just so everybody knows.
And we were talking about this Tuesday night on the roundtable, is that don't expect to just get your MC and now you can book with everybody. It's not like that.
That doesn't work like
and actually, 4 months is not that bad. The problem is the catch-22. Everything has a catch-22. How do you get experience if nobody will hire you? That is a catch-22.
Right. So you have to basically haul for people who don't care. Which
yes.
That leads us into our conversation.
This is where they say you got to pay your dues, right? Everybody has to pay their dues.
You have to pay your dues, but what were we talking about before we came on the show?
Yeah, so, all right. So we are talking about, by the way, I finally figured it out. The red card, we are going to begin a new thing called red loads, all right?
Okay.
Even though the load board won't do it. You can post a load for a penny, and, and it's up there. We are now on Auto Transport Intel on Dispatching Live as of February 4th, 2021. If it's posted for less than X, we are calling it a red load. And we want everybody to start talking about red loads. Red loads are cheap crap that you shouldn't even look at and shouldn't even be able to be posted. But it is, and it's a red load. Got it?
So, can we, if they're a certain kind of broker, can we call them a red broker?
You know what? That's an interesting idea. I mean, we're going to enter MAGA hats and commies and all that kind of stuff when you go and you call people red.
Oh, God.
But, I mean, maybe we call them ginger brokers? I don't know. Well, let's figure that out. But, okay, we already got it. Jalissa likes it. But here's what we got to come up with. What is the cents per mile? And I'm asking you in the live chat. I have a number in my mind. What is the cents per mile that qualifies a red load as a stinking red load? What is that number? Is it 20 cents a mile and below? Is it 25 cents?
I think it should be,
what is
I
that
think it should
number?
be 45 cents and below.
No. 45 is too high. Because we want red load to be, it clearly sucks and you should never book this. Whether you're a 9 car, whether you're a single car, whether you're, I don't know. There's no reason why you would ever book a red load. So can we say 25 cents a mile? I mean, that is terrible.
I think I think you should put these in different colors because I think red
Fritz
is going
says
to be
50.
25 cents a mile and below. But above that, see, okay, so I'm with you on the 45, except for this. If it's a single unit and it's going for 45, that should be some color. Let's just put it that way. But if it's a multi-pack, it's a little different deal because you got to look at that differently.
Okay, Ty says 25. Julissa says 25. I mean, because listen, 25 is ridiculous. That's stupid.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's a red load. All right? That's the number I have written down. It's right here on my piece of paper that you can't read it all. Okay?
Thanks, Michael.
But it's right there. 25 cents a mile or below is a red load, and we're going to start calling it out on the show. All right? Now, we're not making any insinuations about who posted the stinking red load, and in fact, it might be known as the stinking red load. But we are going to see occasional stinking red loads, and you know what? That's a red card and a buzzer, and that's all we got. That's it.
Okay.
There's nothing else other than just hearsay.
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Well, let's. Should we finish with Fritz really quick? Because I think somebody else has another question.
Oh yeah, let's do that. What's Fritz got?
I pulled up. I had to separate these. I couldn't put them in among the two because we weren't getting anything. So if you look at this, Fritz, we've got some stuff from Columbus to Baltimore. There's a 1,500 for 88 cents a mile for a Certus. I mean, these usually should pay good, just so everybody knows. There's a Sprinter van there, but okay. So, like I was saying about red companies, Dodge Sprinter van belongs to a red company, shall we say?
Okay.
And they're very rarely any good.
I need a hat. Making loads great again. Come on. Oh wow.
There's another one. This one's paying good too. I mean, oh no, that's Columbus Grove. We don't want to go that far up. Let's see. Dayton. There's another Grove City. Going to the port. So there's quite a few loads out of Columbus going over to Maryland. There's just not 3 packs for you. I'm sorry.
Oh yes. Oh hi. That's right.
And like here's another one, another Highlander in Grove City. And Grove City
is
just
awesome.
so we
That's
know,
Manheim, right?
Well, there's also an IA there in Grove City, so it could go either way. And usually the stuff that goes to the port in Baltimore is usually IA. It's very rarely it's going to be Manheim. So just ask those questions before you say you're going to take the load. But there's plenty on here if that's where he's heading. I mean, that's not going to be an issue. And you may not be able to drop at the same places, but some of these are going to be at the same places for you. Jen, can you hold your mic for me? So, I mean, there's definitely 3 vehicles there that you're going to be able to get out of with no problem. So that's not going to be an issue. I think someone on here asked a question here. Flow Transport Solutions. Do you see that, Jay?
Which one?
Flow Transport Solutions.
In the live chat, right?
Yeah.
I'm in the process of getting my DOT. We're starting with a 1-car gooseneck with a GVWR 14,000 drive over fenders to accommodate big vehicles. Please, honestly, will I be wasting my time? Yeah, Ty said call me.
Yeah.
That's it. Flo, talk to Ty because you're going to have a conversation. And if his temperature boils a little, give him a little leeway. Hand him an iced tea and a lemonade and see if you can get through that conversation. Because here's the thing: we're really glad you're asking. I got to tell you, really glad you're asking. Thank you for finding us and asking these questions. Because what we don't want to see is, because I have a segment on my Tuesday night show, Flip of the Week. It's not a segment; it's just a meme. You don't want to be on the Flip of the Week for a lot of reasons, right? And by asking questions and being smart and doing your research, you can avoid all of that headache and go with, because we saw the YouTube videos. We thought we'd get rich. We're going to pull in mountains of cash every week, right? I think that's what the video is called, Mountains of Cash Every Week. You saw that one? Great video. Amazing. What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about a 1-car. Let's see. I think there's somebody else asking a question on here too. What else we got here?
Charles, he's been in here before. I ran a 4-car trailer. I would only look at anything below 60 cents if it was multiple with same pickup location and same drop off. I agree with you, Charles. It depends on what area you're in, but I like your style. Absolutely. Rob says Manheim Grove City also has a drop lot about 5 miles away from it where a lot of the lease returns are sitting at. Good point. Yeah, there's a lot happening in Grove City. Good stuff.
All right.
And thank you guys so much. Hey, if you're just joining now, we have 1 hour left. It's not too late. It is not too late to hit that like button, hit that share button, copy, paste, link, text, let a friend know. And I think we're having a little bit of fun today too. Hopefully not at anybody's expense other than Ginger Brokers.
Oh, God. All right. So,
Okay.
what else we got to go on?
Do we have a recommendation on Ohio? Even though I'm like I'm like the kids in the back seat distracting you from trying to get to the mall, you know? Hey,
Oh,
Mom,
yes.
you know?
No, I said
Right?
there's plenty of loads out of Columbus, just not 3-packs.
Okay. All right, cool.
So we're good.
All right, cool.
All right. Anything? Let's see. Has a Grove? Manheim has. Oh.
Rob says if you're just getting started, 1-car trailer would be okay as long as you keep it within 300-mile radius. Make sure it has a winch so you could do in-ups. That's a good point, Rob. I like that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I still think it might be difficult. But
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, it will
Ford
be.
is difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. We basically talked about cheap loads.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you know what time it is? It's time to go to the Mug-O Problems. This is from the Dispatcher Training Series, and it's basically, there's a lot of stuff. And these are all individual line items of what can go wrong as a dispatcher. Now, this is a quote. This is a quote from a dispatcher to a driver. I'm not your fleet manager and compliance officer. Right? Because you get put in situations where you're having to give expert DOT, FMCSA, hours of service, ELD, IRP advice to a driver, and you're out of your league. You know, you're in way over your head.
And that's kind of their job.
Isn't it?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, if you hire somebody, okay, so say you hire somebody and they're driving for you, then they could ask the owner, but they should still know, most of the rules and regulations. That's kind of part of what their job is. You know what I mean?
Well,
because we don't know everything.
No, we certainly don't. And here's what makes it so complicated. And this is why I like Rules of the Road book by Hank Seaton.
Yeah.
There are so many freaking rules, regulations, laws, and then not to mention the discretion of the individual DOT officer. I mean, you add that all up and you are in a world of hurt at a random scale. Or we were talking about this on DOT compliance yesterday, that the next road check, do you know when it is? Anybody?
Usually like the week thing that they do, June, July?
Yeah, when they do, right. The next blitz. They've announced the next blitz.
Okay. When is it?
DOT
I haven't heard
blitz. Okay, so do you know when the next DOT blitz is?
No.
No singing.
When is
Nobody sings. May 4th through 6th.
Really?
DOT blitz. Yeah, May 4th through 6th. They've announced it. And they're going to be focused on lights and ELD, hours of service and lights. So if you have logbook problems on May 5th, that is Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, it is.
You got your margarita in one hand and your messed up logbook in the other. Bad call. It's a bad. Yeah, there it is. PSRI has it. May 4th through 6th. DOT Blitz. Okay, trucking, most overregulated business known to business. Florida had one all throughout January. Yeah, right. Well, that's the funny thing. Exactly. When is it not a blitz? That's what I want to know.
Has anybody noticed they're getting pulled up more or less during COVID? That's a question.
Ooh, that is really good. And
I'm
do,
just
do they
curious.
do COVID safety when they blitz you at the
Yeah,
scales?
yeah. I want to.
Right?
Yeah, that's. I'm curious. Are they wearing?
I
They
mean,
should be wearing gloves, masks,
I'm
everything.
sure they are. I'm sure that I
Yeah.
guarantee the D. Listen, I may be a hack, but I'm not terrible. I'm sure the DOT officers are wearing gloves and masks.
I would think so.
I
I
would think
mean,
so too.
wouldn't make sense not
Hey, we
to.
got one. Michael's in here. He's ready. He's got his
Detroit
fishing
to
pole and he's
Atlanta.
ready to go. Detroit to Atlanta.
Yes, love Detroit. All right.
I know, me too. This one's fun. And Florida DOT guy told me they were told to get 28 inspections each officer before January was over. So we read this article, I think it was a week ago, that they're going to try to, I don't know who they are and I don't know where they are, but they are going to try to decrease officer ticket quotas. And then we don't even know what kind of ticket, what are we talking? Speeding tickets, illegal fishing tickets, probably not trucking. Because in trucking, my gosh, giving a trucker a break would be wow. I've never, no, nobody does that. It's never happened.
No.
Oh, Carlos said no gloves.
No, what?
I
Really?
was wrong.
Wow.
In fact, when you pull up, he takes his gloves off. He's like, "Oh, it's a trucker." No, that's a terrible joke.
Wow.
Not fair, Jay. Not fair. That was totally uncalled.
Red card.
We're throwing the flag on you, Jay.
Yeah. Flag on Jay.
KY.
Right? There
Ty.
we go.
Ty just asked if they use KY.
See, Ty can get away with that stuff.
Yes.
But if I said it, first I gotta pay you, then I gotta pay them.
Yes. Like they always do.
Okay, so who
All
are we
right.
searching for, man? This
We're
is too
looking,
much fun.
we're
Michael.
looking from Detroit.
All right,
He's
Detroit
got
to
a
Atlanta.
4 or 5 car. Okay. All
Okay,
right. That's
cool.
what he's doing. All right.
Perfect.
So I didn't put up minimum because I just wanted to see. I did put a minimum of I think 75 cents up a mile. So let's see what we got on here. So there's an Escalade from Dearborn for $600, 84 cents a mile. That's good. Flint
Nice.
is nowhere near that.
We
so
better
then
not see any red
Flint.
loads out of Detroit. That ain't gonna happen.
So-
But we're gonna have to search LA later and get us some red loads.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll do Dallas.
Or Dallas or Atlanta. I mean,
Yeah, we're
some of
gonna-
that stuff
And then we're gonna have
crazy.
red load cities. Highest red load cities. All right, so what are we seeing? Are we seeing any gold bars? We need gold bar cities.
Well,
This
I
is a
mean,
gold
they're
bar.
80 some cents a mile. This is 97 cents a mile, but it's going into Anniston. You can come in that way, but I don't know if I would do that. 'cause
That's
it's also
closer
big.
to that's
band.
basically Birmingham, I think. Is
Yeah,
it?
or is it like or Huntsville or somewhere around there is where it's going to be in between. So it's going to take you off a route. I would say at least 60, 70 miles. So I wouldn't do it. There's probably plenty on here that we don't have to worry about. Let's see. Auction Direct. That's in Adrian. That's over by. I think that's over more by Ann Arbor or something like that. No, it's going to be even worse than that. Reddy also has one in Ann Arbor going to College Park, which is a Porsche Cayenne for $585. You can get your chicken nuggets on that and probably get it up
Chicken
to
nuggets.
600.
Oh, you can actually. Oh, they actually. You're talking about Chicken Nuggets LLC. You can actually
Yeah.
get your chicken nuggets.
So
There
you
you go.
probably
I love that.
pick that up a little bit.
Well done.
Here's another F-150. Belleville, I believe, is a Copart or an IAA up there. These are all big vehicles, so this is going to be kind of difficult. We've got an F-150, a Ford Expedition, another. Holy crap. That's not paying enough. That F-600, just so everybody knows.
F600.
That is-
Oh,
Yeah.
dual
no.
rear wheel.
No. That should be paying more than that. Then he's
Yeah,
got
no,
two
that's
fans.
not paying enough. It's really not, especially out of that area for that size, the weight, etc.
It's got a couple two van packs on here. But I mean, 4 or 5 car hauler is going to be able to handle usually this stuff. It depends on what
Well,
kind of
and
trailer
look, we're seeing a
yeah.
pattern. That broker, he's got a lot of heavy stuff, and he's not really
it's
paying you a
big.
lot to move it.
No, because even with my 4-car, that's the flat that, you know, a couple go up in the air, I'd still only be able to get 3 of those. And also like Cleveland, Georgia is more like, what is that, Chattanooga area, something like that. So it's before you get into Atlanta.
Yes, exactly. Well, that says northeast. That's interesting. Because Chattanooga is northwest of Atlanta. Northeast would be pretty hilly, is my guess. Yeah, let's check out Cleveland, Georgia. Always check the map. Pro tip. Know your brokers and check the map.
Cleveland, Georgia, and Chattanooga. Close enough. All right.
Dang,
Yeah,
this
so
show's
Cleveland,
already half
Georgia.
over. That's crazy. What do you got?
Yeah, it's way over here.
Yeah.
So, and I think
Cleveland. Wow.
if you have skin, I wouldn't do it probably.
That is a tough spot. Yeah. Is that the heavy loads?
That's the heavy stuff, and
Okay,
I
this
also
doesn't
wouldn't do
pay
it because
enough.
of that too. Yeah, no, it's not.
No.
You should be paying more, especially you're going to go through the mountains. You're going to eat up a ton of gas.
And you know what? Right? You're all you're seeing is dollar bills. No. Wait until you're in the. Go back to your map, please. Wait until you're. Wait until it's 10 o'clock at night and you're somewhere near like Westbrook, Jasper, and you're driving around in circles and you're trying to look at your map. Your phone is dying. Your phone is ringing as it's dying. Right? Everyone wants to know why you're not home yet, why you're not delivered yet, what's going on, where are you? And now how's that mountain of cash looking?
Yeah.
Real good. And now, because it's 10 o'clock at night and you're driving in circles in Westbrook, you're going to miss your Copart pickup tomorrow. Can't wait for those phone calls.
Yeah. Well, if you were waking up in over here, like where's Winder and stuff at? Hold on.
Well, Winder is Atlanta
It's
compared
still
to Cleveland.
50 miles.
But yeah,
it's
is Winder
right
Buford? Yeah, okay.
No.
Yeah, at least that's adjacent to Metro.
Yeah, because you got a Carvana there and an IA there in Winder. Okay, so what else we got on?
All right, so that was kind of
this company.
That's the dispatcher. What do you call that when you go see the surgeon and he takes a look at and he gives you the pre-op or the analysis or post-op? I don't know. Pre-op, post-op, pre-op.
Yeah, post-op is after.
Yeah. Mike B says hello. What's up? B&B Transportation in the house. Feel free to promote your company product or service and say hello. You can share a URL, share a link, whatever it is. Send us to your Facebook page.
Service has some loads on here too. We got a Mercedes-Benz, a Dodge Journey. These are a little bit smaller vehicles because so far we've been looking at is F-150s and huge vans. Still continues, it looks like. Wholesale has a Chrysler Pacifica on here, which is still an SUV going into Buford, which is by where we were just talking about. What else we got? A lot of big stuff on here today. So make it really difficult for a 4 or 5 to carry this stuff.
And that is one of the things. If it's not
a
real gold bar, to me a gold bar is a sedan that pays $1,000. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Okay, so your Florida has also this. This makes no sense to me. Okay, he was paying $1,100 and $1,200 on huge vans, and then he puts these two on here, going into Hayesville, North Carolina, which, by the way, I picked up out of there yesterday. So Hayesville. I'll show you where that's at.
But look, must go today. See, it's that, what?
That's part of it.
Right, that's what it is. Because the way this works, in case you don't know, all right? So the way this works is it doesn't pay what you need it to pay until you've already seen the river and the turn, and you are on your last, right? You are on your last, you really have to go all in at this point. Okay, I'm all in. I got this. There's no way you're taking this down. Okay, that's the way it works.
So here's a funny story because we were going to talk about this anyways. Okay, so you guys see this load here. It's Cleveland to Lithonia. I've got a driver that lives in Lithonia. I tried to get these loads yesterday. They were with a different broker yesterday for $1,200. I called to get the load. She says, I'll call you back after I talk to the customer, which when they do that, you always figure something wonky is going to come back out of their mouth, which it did. She wanted me to take it for $1,100. And I said, no. Said, you have it listed for 12 and there's other vehicles on here for 750, 850. I'll just take them. I just wanted an easy pack for my driver. So she's like, can't you do me a favor and do it for 11? I said, no. She goes, can you do me a favor and do it for 1150? And I said, no. So I hang up the phone and I go get my better paying cars. So then today, this company, which is a red company, shall we say, list these cars for $1,300. I guarantee you, if you call them, either they're going to say they're going to talk to their customer and they're probably not legit. The loads probably aren't. Then they're going to ask you for less money as well. Because I think that what's happening and what I seem to keep seeing happening, or what they're telling me, is they're listing these cars for more than what the owner has agreed to.
Yes.
And I don't understand why they're doing it, because to me that means they don't even have a contract. I don't know about anybody else, but that usually means they don't have a contract. So,
well,
this
is where we gotta, I mean, it's amazing how it's a poker game, and it's the dealership when you're negotiating with the dealer and it's like, well, I got to go talk to my boss again. And he goes and walks in a room and looks at the wall and gets a drink of water. That's what they do when they say, I got to call the customer. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then they go and feed the kids, and, now there's applesauce, and they're like, I don't know, maybe I can do $550.
I've noticed more and more, I don't know if anybody else has, but over the last few weeks, more and more people listing cars, and then when you call to get them, asking for you to take a discount. I called yesterday and it was 2 cars out of like the Columbus area going to St. Louis. Big vehicles, 1500 and an Escalade. Both listed for $450, which is excellent money. Okay, I can put a small car with that still. Then he's like, well, I've got somebody that wants it. Okay, but if you really want it and you'll take it for $800 for the 2-pack instead of, and by the way, there are 2 different pickups, by the way. $800, I'll give it to you. I said, I'll talk to my driver, but I don't think that's going to happen. Anyway, needless to say, they're still on the board today. So he didn't have no damn driver.
I love that. Oh, that's the best. In fact, I think it would be within your rights to call them back and say, hey, that load? I don't know. Come up with your story, What's your story? Yeah. Hey, that load? Oh, and that one that we had a problem with and it didn't move? Yeah, I'm so glad. Okay, I got to go.
See, you didn't really have a driver there, buddy. So.
Right, exactly. Oh, man, I'm so sorry that driver broke. You know what? This is where you go. We got to call this the Kill 'em with Kindness Challenge, right?
Yeah.
Where you got to call back and you got to kill them with kindness. They do have to die from kindness on the phone. and then you mail it in. We want to see the chalk outline of the ginger broker. If you just tuned in, what are we talking about? And Mike, let's see. Mike says he had the same thing happen 3 times this week. They called back, asked me to do it cheaper. You were saying, what did they do? They called you back?
Yeah, she called me back and said, can you do it now for $1,200? I said, no, I'm already loaded. I told you that I was going to get these other loads. And what happened actually was I went to go get the 850. It was a van too. And they found out that somebody else had already moved without me calling, which was great because that irritates the crap out of me. And then my $1,100 van came up anyways. And I was like, okay, we're good. I'm not even going to mess with this. I had a $700 vehicle from another transporter that canceled me last night in the middle of the night, said it wasn't paid for, even after I verified it, and it said it was. I don't understand what that happened with that, but I got another vehicle for $650, so it was all good. I wasn't for that much. But yeah, I don't understand. If you want to give it to us, give it to us right then and there. I don't play those games with people. I mean, and this is the other thing too. For example, when I list something for over $1 a mile and you ask me for another $100, to me it's kind of insulting because those loads are not on there. So don't do it.
You know,
Just don't do
well,
it.
Lincoln Guzman asked me to put on the investigation hat because this is why. I mean, this is, there's a reason dispatchers have so much to do, and they're
Yeah.
they're cooking up martinis at noon because this is madness. How is it possible? It's 2021.
Yeah.
And we're still doing this. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
not going away. This isn't.
no. And then you know how we always talk about the people offer me less money when I've got a hot load? That happened to me all day yesterday too, because I listed a couple out of Riverside, California, and a couple out of what's another hot spot? Riverside, Florida. It was Ocoee, Florida, going to Houston, and Riverside, California, going to Houston. I mean, I got beat up. And it was one, I mean, my phone's going ding, 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 ding. And then it's like, I'll do it for $50 less. I'll do it for $75 less. I'm like, I don't play those games. It's
Oh my
who first
God,
contacted
you
me
guys, with the $50 less. No
That's why the
wonder.
rates get run down.
Well, that's why major brokers can get away with throwing chicken nuggets at you. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Michael Watson says, I call them, I see that load from yesterday. I tried to do you a favor at $1,200. Now you got to pay $1,300.
I tell that lady
you gotta,
14.
You got to get the buzzer.
I guarantee you that load was not any good because what are we going to call the brokers we were talking about earlier, but we were trying to be nice.
Yeah, we're going to, I know. Well, I'll tell you what, let's back burner that for a second. And because I know I want to talk, this is a tough subject and I want to get it right. Yes. So I'm going to sidebar that. What are we doing with Detroit to Atlanta? I mean,
right now there's good stuff on here, but for a 4 or 5, I don't have a full load to put on there for you yet because they're too huge. It would probably take a minute.
And that's the thing, Zach, my recommendation, right? We know it's a good lane. We know you can make money, and we know you don't have to haul monster trucks into the mountains.
Yeah.
So what you would do, just like stay up late, get up early, and keep watching this, and you will see good stuff that goes fast. Right? There's a reason the monster trucks are sitting there. There's a reason.
So let's talk about how looking for loads as a dispatcher and how late you should be looking. Let's touch that because I have these asked quite a bit from me. So we work from 8 to 4. I usually say I chill probably anywhere between 5 and 6. But in certain areas, I'm going to tell you right now, they stop posting loads at a certain time. The only ones that you'll see come up are the automatic loads, like Cars Drive for some reason always post their loads between 5 and 6. You'll see a plethora of them come up. And Ready Auto, like load boards like that where you can grab loads. Otherwise, I call them drive-bys. They may list them late, but they're not going to answer the phone for you. What do you call them, Jay? You call them something else. When they list the load and walk away.
Oh, the post and run?
Yes, post and run.
I
call them drive-bys. So yeah.
You call them drive-bys? What do you guys call them?
They won't answer.
We're talking about, it is the funniest thing. When you see a load get posted, it just got posted. I've been staring at this thing all day. It's green. It just got posted. And I know I got to be one of the first ones to call you, ring your phone, text you, email you, fax you, send you smoke signals, whatever. But I can't. You're not responding. And it's still sitting there. Why? What did you do? Did you post it and go for a run?
Posted it. When
and
I walked out the door.
It's the
door.
Okay, honey, we got it. Everything's perfect. And click. Everybody get out of the house quickly.
Yeah. Yep. It happens. That does happen. But honestly, load posting usually, the only ones you're going to see later are going to be your Cars Arrive. Not even United Road usually doesn't post late. Almost inevitably, if you're looking for your last car, that's usually what happens to me. It's Cars Arrive that pops up late at night. And you can always go get any of those. You can get Ready off their board. You can get Cars Arrive off their board. United Road, you can get loads off their board at any time of night. But don't stay up all night looking for loads because it's not going to happen and they're not going to answer the phone even if they do.
Hey, good point. There is a time to call it. I like that a lot. I don't think we've ever talked about it. There's a time to call it a day. You know?
Yeah. Same thing on Saturdays.
Call it a day.
Usually Saturdays stop around.
Every day is a new day. Get some sleep. Get some rest. Don't freak out.
Yeah. And Sundays are pretty much a wash, so don't even do it.
Oh yes, I agree with you. Sunday is pointless. Unfortunately. I mean, you can look for loads, but you're not going to get anything booked. And what you had a guy like hassling you at 3 a.m. I want the load, right?
Yeah. I get texts all the time because I always put on their text for my loads. And even if I put on there my office hours or they don't care. I get texts 3, 6, 5 in the morning. It doesn't matter.
Well, it's funny you say. That's why I say, why waste space on the screen with your office hours? Nobody cares. Nobody pays attention to that.
True, that's true.
Nobody cares.
That is true. I mean, we do, because I don't want. Because here's my theory on this.
You do.
If I'm not going to text you late at night because it would tick me off, so it would probably tick them off. So
well,
keep it
clearly,
reasonable.
okay, we've already thrown common sense out the window. If you're calling a broker and saying I'll do it for $50 less, you have lost all sense of reason. Okay, I mean that is absolutely stupid. In what other industry does that ever happen? Hi, welcome to In-N-Out. Yeah, hey, I want to get the cheeseburger. Listen, I'll tell you what. I only got $1, so just give me like half a burger. Yeah, drive around. We got it. Okay, no. You can't find another industry where this stupid stuff happens.
Yes.
I'd like to know, actually. I think they're probably more professional in the plumbing industry. I don't know. All right, I'm way out of left field. We do have a search request. Mike B wants an Orlando 3-car out. Something like that. If we can look for that, please.
Yep.
Phew. Man. Okay, that's why I wear the shirt. I have the dart. We're throwing a dart at a dartboard, hoping for the best. We put the dice back into the cup. We shake them. She puts in the search filter settings. I grab the rosary. Ooh, I just came up with another prop for the show. A rosary. All right, you grab the rosary.
Rosary.
Yes.
A rosary?
Oh, man.
You're talking about like
Lucky
a Catholic
sevens.
rosary?
Do you know what a rosary is? Rosary?
No, what's a rosary?
That's what Catholics hold
I thought it was a rosary.
when they do their Hail Marys, because that's,
Yeah,
Hail Mary, full of grace, find me a load,
All right. Let's see. All right, so I just put up Orlando out. Usually, like I've said before, Orlando going out is going to be Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, which is all on here. Sometimes Tennessee. To get out of Florida, I always tell you to take the shortest amount of miles so you don't get eat up on the price, because out of Florida is not going to pay usually. So Alabama's pretty close. Louisiana's pretty close. Atlanta's pretty close. And it looks like there's some on here. Like here's a 2-pack. It's over in Daytona. Because honestly, getting over 50 cents a mile is going to be pretty tricky, to be straight with you. Fisher's got one on here, but it's a Chevy Express van. It's 20.3 in length. It's only 7.1 high, so that's a short. Ready on 2/5 at 12 p.m. And you can take a percentage for Fisher. How much is the percentage? 5%?
For who?
Fisher shipping?
It's 5.
5% for a quick pay. Or it's a 14 to 21 day. This will get you out of Mobile, though. I mean,
but bravo, Fisher Shipping. Fisher Shipping is one of those companies that they want you to know what you're getting into. I love it, man. Thank you, Fisher Shipping. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, that's a good paying load, and you could still put 2 small cars on there. I don't know how long your trailer is. That's a factor too. If you're only a 50-footer, you could still do that because you can overhang. But you're going to need a couple smaller vehicles. You're not going to take no 1500 with it or anything like that. Let's look here. We got some stuff going to Louisiana. There's one going to Maryland, but I don't think I'd do that. We're looking. Here's another one going to Gulfport. So you can do Gulfport with Louisiana. That's paying really well. It's 72 cents a mile.
Is the pattern? Are we already seeing the pattern again? You're looking Orlando to close by.
Yeah,
Alabama,
I mean, typically this is what you see come up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to get out. That's what I'm saying. You got to take short miles. You don't take stuff all the way up to, you know, Detroit out here. You'll never be able to compensate for what you're going to lose coming out. There is some stuff. There's some stuff on here going to Charlotte that's paying pretty decent. One's up in Tampa. Here's some right here. Burlington is a little bit further, and that's a 3,500. That's not paying
Right,
enough,
and
but
North Carolina is a real common location also out of Orlando,
yes,
isn't it?
yeah, Charlotte.
Mhm.
There's a van going all the way up to Columbus for 71 cents a mile. But if you look, I mean, okay, so here's Nashville, but it's a 3,500. Here's another Nashville. It's a Nissan Versa, which would be really tiny. Here's a Mazda CX-5. That's those would all, you
Nashville,
probably manage that
Nashville. And
with
it's
that
COD.
Versa.
Look at that, COD.
Yeah, and you could take the 3,500 with this Versa and then find another vehicle because that's tiny enough to make your small spot fit. Service has one, but it's over in Tampa.
It's in Tampa, yeah. Those cities don't go together, not really.
No, not unless you're already there.
Yeah, you got to already be in Tampa, exactly.
Yeah. Here's some more stuff going to Alabama. There's a 2-pack. What's that?
Hi, George. How are you today?
Chevy Colorados
I am good.
aren't as bad. Let's see how much.
Order, making sure you got everything you need.
No, those are 19 foot, so that kind of screws anybody that's a 3-car because that's not going to fit. If you had like some of my guys are 3 cars with extensions and make them 56 foot, that would fit. And then you could put another vehicle on with it. Let's see. Here's another one going to Birmingham. Here's another one. So definitely Alabama. There's a load there. Let's see. Some of this stuff is taking you back into Florida, so we're just going to ignore that and move on. Okay. There's one going in.
And so this search is for Mike Baldwin. Now he did say 48 foot on his, I guess that's on the, because he did say 3-car wedge.
Okay, so he's 48. There's a F-150 going into Atlanta.
Yeah, we have 2 of them, sir.
Melbourne, those are up further, and not Atlanta. Here's another 2-pack. What is this? Oh, good Lord. No, that's bad. No. Because obviously everyone wants to make more than 50 cents a mile. That's why I would say take your shortest amount of miles, 50 cents. Get out and then try to get better money after that. Here's a 2-pack. Not ready till Saturday or Monday.
And while we're searching, I don't want to let this go. Shannon, how do you handle booking loads that you've already committed to while booking new loads? Now, he says to fill your stinger, but in general, that's where I'm going to jump in and say, that's why you don't book garbage, because there's something good around the corner, and if you've committed to garbage, if you've booked it, it should be something that you're ready to actually pick up and deliver. It shouldn't be something you're just willy-nilly, I'll do it for $50 less, I got some more chicken nuggets, and I think that's part of the problem. The whole concept of looking at, being a business professional about what you book has gone out the window because it's just a madhouse. It's like a food fight, right? And booking loads should not be like being in a food fight at a cafeteria full of food you don't really want to eat.
Right.
Wow. Really? He said that? He said that about us? Unbelievable, this guy. And then he threw some kind of odd flag into the sky? Who is this guy?
There's more stuff going into North Carolina too. So far I've seen out of Orlando, you're going to either go to North Carolina, Georgia, or Alabama is your main run here.
Yeah, Rob's got it. Great Lakes region is my favorite. Good paying loads. Amen to that, Rob. That's Gold Bar City. Hey, by the way, have we seen any red loads coming out of Orlando? That's why I think 25 cents is... It's either 25 or 30 is your red load. But I don't think we've seen any red loads. Did we lose Sue? No. She's there. You know what it is? She's doing business, right? This is where probably got somebody wants $50 less, or there's a flip of the week or something like that. So, now Michael, let's see here. Michael out of Tennessee. Oh, we did lose Sue. Okay, she'll be back. Michael out of Tennessee. Michael out of Tennessee. That doesn't even make sense. What was the question? Okay. I just like to look at rates from different areas and see routes back to my house, Nashville, Tennessee. Okay. So yeah, so what we'll do is when we're done with Orlando, we'll take a look at some lanes coming back to Nashville. And also, Mike, in your opinion, where would be the best place for the loads after Orlando? Right. Well, and we're looking at, so Orlando. We're looking at, okay, like Birmingham is that's a pretty reliable route to Birmingham-ish, southern Alabama-ish, Oxford, Anniston. You could even get over to Mississippi, Louisiana, or you can head up to North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe Virginia. So go those two ways as opposed to something over the road. Because if you book something to Boston, no, you're just gonna get you're probably gonna find red loads on the way to Boston. So you go a shorter distance now. What do you do when you get to Alabama or the Carolinas? Actually, what you could do is, if you're from Orlando, make your triangle back to, if you went to North Carolina, see if you can triangle back to Alabama, triangle back to Florida, or you're probably going to find something that'll send you straight back. Orlando, to me, is one of those areas in Florida where, it's better than other areas in Florida, if that makes sense. Florida's kind of like Texas, where there's many cities that can go to other cities in the state that may or may not make money leaving or coming back in, but it is something to look at. Whereas, I see California way harder to deal with in-state or even out-of-state. It doesn't pay as good, I don't think. That's why it seems like we get a lot more requests on the East Coast. You don't see a lot of West Coast requests because I don't know. Folks, if you're on the West Coast, I would love to see you in the live chat. What do you think of the West Coast versus what you see on the East Coast? I'd love to know.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, what's going on, Sue?
Okay, so Mike was wanting to know.
Ooh.
Also, what I would think for you to take out of there. What would be the best place to land, I guess, out of Orlando if you're going to choose out of the 4 locations I said? Atlanta has really been bad lately, so I don't know if I would go there. Might have better luck over in Charlotte area. Louisiana has been off and on again. What was my other option? North Carolina. Alabama, that's probably where I would send you. Honestly, to take yourself into either Birmingham or Huntsville, not Montgomery. You can drop off something on your way up through there to Montgomery, but I would either look out of Birmingham or Huntsville. Nashville, the auctions are kind of done with. That was yesterday. We're still looking for a guy for tomorrow out of there to see what pops up, and it's been slim pickings right now. So I would probably do Alabama.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, Alabama. And then I was talking about the Carolinas too, but it seems we're pretty, we say a lot of the same things, which is funny because we never worked together.
No,
No.
But we've had the same experiences. And
yeah.
I mean, generally speaking, the hotspots are usually kind of the same hotspots. You always want to go into bigger cities unless you're going to drop them at the smaller places along the way. You know what I mean? But you want to end up in at least as close to a big city as you can so you can get the loads.
And yet, you want to develop your own little niche and style, like maybe you find some of those near a big city but kind of on the fringe that the Stinger's not going to pick up, right?
Right.
Kind of
Right.
stuff.
That you can drop along your way as you're coming in, that kind of thing. This Bluffton one, now it would be easy to get out with this one, but the only problem is that's really not enough money for a day's worth. Because I mean, that's still a full day's worth of work, and I like to get my guys way more money than that per day. Because my goal at the end of the week is to try to get them $5,000 for a 3-car. So I'm always trying to get $1,000 to $1,200 a day minimum for each of my guys to get to that goal by the end of the week. So 600 for me wouldn't cut it. I mean, if you were desperate trying to get out, yes.
And I like what you say, because this is where, when they say the rubber meets the road, the customer wants cheap, fast, unicorn. Plus, you've got all of the folks in the supply chain taking their cut. But like you said, the driver needs to make like $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's so much within that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
It is tough. It's tough. That's what makes it. That's tough enough. And now you got all the BS where it's wrapped around a tree. We mailed the keys to Miami. Like really, like it's just insane. It is insane. This is an insane business. And I want to say this too. Let's talk about the West Coast. So I don't want to let Johnny and Rob's talking about Vegas. West Coast. We're gonna pull that up. I don't know what the deal is. What is the deal with the West Coast? Why is it so hard to make decent loads out of the West? Why
I have never figured it out.
I can't figure it out either.
Because East Coast pays outrageous because of traffic and tolls and that. Well, you have horrible traffic in California. I mean, absolutely, probably worse than New Jersey and New York. And yet it is cheap. I mean, super cheap. I don't know if there's that many people over there. That's what it is.
No, for real. For real. Okay, I lived in California for years.
Yeah.
The 5, Interstate 5, from LA all the way going north, that take you all day. And the loads are like $80 and $100. Like, what are you talking about?
I always talk about like when they're that cheap, how much would they pay a tow truck driver? I guarantee you that.
Oh my God, a tow truck driver would charge you $800 to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't know why this is a regular thing. It has been doing this for 15 years. California has always been like this.
Oh,
I've never seen
can't
anything
stand
different.
booking in-state California. It's gotta be.
Okay, so I'm gonna put up California. I'm gonna put up LA.
Yeah, well, this is good. We're gonna see some red load city.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny knows. Johnny knows. Yeah. Rob knows. Johnny knows. Everybody knows.
And Houston's the same way. I mean, it's.
And then you get pulled over for an inspection, right?
Yeah.
What do you think you're in? And are you first in line? No, you're probably sitting on the on ramp. How long do you sit on the on ramp waiting to get inspected? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep. My computer's having a hard time dealing with the loads that are about to come up here.
And don't even think about picking up or delivering in like West Hollywood or Hollywood or Santa Monica. Forget it. You could barely walk your dog inside of an hour in Santa Monica.
Well, I got almost 1,500 loads, but we're going to start from the top. This is actually a good paying load from Anaheim going to Phoenix for $345 at 95 cents a mile. But usually CarWave lists them that well. I've had a guy that was doing this stuff, so I was dealing with CarWave a few times. Auction Direct has an 8-pack for 42 cents a mile, which actually, that's not bad for an 8-pack, 42 cents a mile. One pick, one drop.
That is not bad. I agree. That is not bad. Especially, look at that. Anaheim to Phoenix. Anaheim's full of dealerships.
Yeah.
Phoenix is a busy city. That is pretty good. Wow. Oh, they must. When they say ASAP, I think they mean like now.
Yeah. Isn't it a Mannheim or a Death over there?
So Anaheim is not necessarily a Mannheim, but Anaheim is a busy city south of Los Angeles. That's where Disneyland is. There's lots of dealerships, and it's also at the intersection of the 5 and the 405, so it's just a busy area.
I don't know, for some reason, Auction Direct usually picks up from like Mannheims and Odessas. That's why I thought it might be that. Let's see. So we were complaining, but you see, these are all like nice.
Well, I know.
loads
Look
off
at this. We're all, man, boy, do we look
We
bad.
never see this.
Boy, these
Let's
guys
see.
don't know what they're talking about.
the-
But they are all fresh loads. I will say that.
They are all
they've been
fresh.
sitting at 30 cents a mile, and now they got to get moved.
And they're not, I mean, they're going to normal places like Arizona, California. That's a normal thing to go back and forth.
And there you go. Like, yeah, Van Nuys, that's LA suburbs. If you go from LA to Phoenix for $250 a car, that's kind of normal. It's, you know.
Yeah, it is. That's usually what we get.
Yeah.
But I mean, like this, I mean, I don't think that's a good load from
Oh,
Anaheim
no,
up to
gosh, no.
Frisco.
That
I
will
mean,
literally take you all day.
Yeah.
And you didn't make anything. Nope. You gave away the truck one bolt at a time.
Let's see. Well, these are all inside the states. That's why they're paying $1.41. I mean, they're not going very far, but
Well, and in-state loads should pay $1 a mile. I mean,
they should pay more.
the
Yeah,
broker's
absolutely.
collecting more than $1 a mile.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah. Let's see.
We got into the live. Keep going. Let's see. I'll haul campers and RVs and boats to the west because I know I can get loads, good paying, coming back. I've heard about California to Vegas, the most loads. The loads are cheap out west because everybody's trying to get out of the west, and these brokers know that, yeah. Man, I like California loads, guys.
Wow. There's a couple going to Colorado.
Oh, Colorado.
65 cents. I'm actually, these usually are not on here for this much. I mean, honestly.
I agree. Yeah, no. Everybody heard us talking about it and raised the rates.
Raise the prices. Okay, well, so this is
That's all right.
typical.
We're going to see. Once we get out of the fresh loads, we're going to see.
Yes.
Yeah,
that like, for example, here we are.
That
right
Jeep,
here. This is
oh
what
my gosh,
about.
that's LA to Orlando?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LA
dude, he's going to get that loaded because Jeeps, see, if you're a Stinger and you're trying to save space, you're going to move. Somebody's going to grab that. And that's why 36 cents a load is not a red load, because a Stinger will take it all day if he's trying. Oh, here we go. Oh,
there you go.
And that's a fresh load.
It's 28 cents a mile, not 25.
Okay, so that's LA to Miami. Okay, we got it.
And then this, what is this? That's 31 cents a mile.
I'm gonna you can throw it on a Stinger, so I'm not gonna give them. I'm trying to be fair.
I think that's still too cheap. For
my New Year's resolution, I'm gonna try to be fair.
Here's some stuff from.
But I do have a gavel, so.
Okay, so here's a 3-pack going all the way to Indianapolis out of Riverside for only 34 cents a mile. That's cheap.
That is cheap. But a Stinger will take it.
Yep. Unfortunately, you're right. Let's see. Here's Detroit.
Michael's definitely throwing the red card. And Billowall's here. What's up? What's up, Billowall? How you doing? Thanks for saying hello. Really do appreciate it. And if you did leave a like, thank you so much. And if you haven't, please do so. We're gonna be out of here in about 5 or 10 minutes. And Michael said, "I'm done looking at California now." That's a good choice. That is a good choice. Well played, Michael.
That was enough, huh?
Yeah, he's had it.
We have a guy that was wanting information about running, I think, a 1-car enclosed California, and I told him to come on the show today, but I haven't seen him ask yet. So
I love this question. One of the things I love about Auto Transport Intel is there are no stupid questions, because what we know, somebody else doesn't know, and somebody else knows something that we don't know. So what's a Stinger? A Stinger is, and if you'll find a picture, Stinger is like basically a 9 or 10 car trailer. That's a car hauling trailer in the minds of many. A true car hauling trailer. In fact, in the laws in Missouri, that's the only way to haul cars legally. And it has a special connection. You'll see behind the fifth wheel. Yeah. How would
Okay.
you? I'm about exhausted on my description. Sue, do you have any further information on how to describe a stinger?
No, I mean, does a sticker always have one that goes on the roof? Is that how you
So
always
on the
describe them?
yes, as a
Okay.
matter of fact, good. That's a good point. Yes. So on the head rack, a stinger always has the
That'd be
spot
this
on the
right here.
head rack.
Yeah.
I'm sure there
See,
are
and there's a
exceptions because
little
there's
bit
exceptions to
better
everything.
picture.
But that is a 10
Yeah.
car stinger, yes. And
Yeah.
there you can see in the middle, see right here behind these two wheels. I'm describing it like a dispatcher, so I'm sure I'm going to be thrown out with the bathwater by somebody. But behind those wheels, that's where the trailer connects. It's an 80-foot 10 car hauler, and I mean for experienced car haulers, but that is if you work for a fleet and you got to move 1,000 cars on a spot buy for an OEM, that's the trailer you want to send out.
Yeah.
And so, and on the
Thank you for
truck
that
itself,
question.
you're holding three, if that makes sense. Because you're putting one on the top, one behind that, and one in underneath it, which drives onto it from the other trailer, if that makes sense. So I used to have one, not personally. I used to have a driver at head stinger. So,
And as a dispatcher, what was it like working for the Stinger driver?
it was fine actually.
Oh, okay.
He went out of business not because of how bad things were, but someone stole. He parked in.
Oh
He
no,
parked at the
theft! Oh
Orlando
my God,
Manheim, and he
so
was
much
in.
theft.
He lived in Lakeland, Florida, and he always parked his truck and trailer with all the cars on it in Orlando at the Manheim.
Yep.
Well, one weekend they came and stole his truck and trailer and all the cars on it. So we did find it, but I don't know why the insurance didn't decide to look inside the motor. They didn't. He took off, and the people had put rocks inside the motor.
Oh my
So
God.
basically, they put him out of business because he couldn't recover from it. That's
Oh
what
my
happened.
God. That
Yeah.
is nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So
Hey, I just realized we got about 5 more minutes. We need to do one more thing, and then our work is done for the day. We need to check routes back to Nashville for Michael. Okay.
Nashville to where?
So decent paying routes that lead back to Nashville. So we're actually checking a backhaul.
Louisiana.
Okay, so most of the time when we're going to Nashville, we were either picking up in Louisiana, Oklahoma, Dallas, Kansas City, St. Louis, Detroit, Cleveland. You can always do Atlanta back and forth, but they're only like $150, $175. So I don't even waste my breath on that. Usually on a certain day in Charlotte and Raleigh, you'll find stuff going to Nashville. Nashville's a hot spot, but let me explain Nashville here's your problem. The most time the loads don't come out of Nashville until Wednesday or Thursday. So the auction's on Wednesday, you'll see part of them there, and then the rest will follow up on Thursday. You'll see lots of loads coming in. So there's that. So I don't know if you're wanting to run back and forth between there. I would run out, stay out, and come back at the end of the week would probably be your best bet. And if like you're leaving out of Monday on out of Nashville, I couldn't even tell you what's going to come up because that's so random on Mondays. You just don't know. But typically when we run out of Nashville, we run Dallas, Kansas City, Charlotte, Raleigh, Oklahoma, Minnesota. We've run Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska. Just those places up north. Make sure you get a load out of there before you send someone to Minnesota, Iowa, or Nebraska because it's a tough area to get out of. And then we're dealing with weather on top of everything.
Perfect. Hey, perfect segue. The question is, what part of the country do you consider to be dead zones? You were just hitting it.
Oh, dead zones, South Dakota, North Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota.
Montana.
Montana.
Idaho. Wyoming.
Yes. You're going to drive far places to pick and drop between them. if that makes sense. I mean,
Oh man, it's
one's
brutal.
going to be like 200 miles away from the next kind of thing, and or they maybe have you all the way up in Canada, and then you're really screwed. You're not getting out of there. So, let's see, what other dead spots would I consider? Florida.
You called Florida a dead zone?
Yes, I don't send anybody there, man.
I know, man. Right?
Even during
It's
snowbird
funny.
season, it used to be a thing that snowbird season, the loads would pay outrageous, so it compensated for you to take crap coming in or out, right? Now they're not even doing that. The last 2 years, you're barely getting a little bit. You might get lucky out of New Jersey and New York when we looked at it, even at snowbird season, what was the highest we saw? 60, 65, 70? And those used to be $1 a mile to get you down to Florida, so that when you came out of Florida, if you had to take 45, 50 cents a mile just to get yourself home, at least it compensated for what you were doing. It's not happening. It hasn't happened in a couple of years.
Well,
So, yeah.
exactly. There's this lack of understanding that drivers and carriers need to be compensated.
Yeah.
It's just not
The
even
places
really
in
thought about.
Colorado,
If you explain that when you're in the middle of poker with a broker and you talk
Yeah.
about how the carrier does plan to stay in business,
yeah.
they're like, yeah, anyways. All right, so are you going to take it or not? You,
They don't care.
I don't know. I didn't hear. I have no idea what you're talking about. There's a business? Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to go. My
They
phone's
don't think
ringing.
about
My phone's ringing with
the
people
little
that said
guys.
they'll do it for $50 less. I don't know. I got to go.
Yep. I want it or not, I'm about
Yeah.
to dispatch it.
Yeah, I know. And then if you call me tomorrow and laugh at me because I didn't get it moved, I don't care. I'm good.
Yeah.
I watch
Yeah.
the same YouTube videos you do.
Yep.
Okay, that was pretty cool. Hey, last thing, what about Clarksville, Indiana, which is basically
So that's
Louisville,
Louisville.
right? That's
Yeah.
Louisville.
I like Louisville.
Yeah, me too. It's a good area.
We usually send people to Louisville, Lexington.
And there's
My
one
hot
you
spots
can go
is
to
what I consider
Detroit.
them.
You can drop
Yes.
down to Texas, Louisville. I like Louisville. It's good.
I mean,
You can go
Louisville to Atlanta always
Yeah.
pays well.
Mhm.
Louisville usually to Kansas City pays well. I used to sometimes get loads out of Louisville going to St. Louis for like $350 a car, which is
Yeah.
outrageous, but I haven't seen those in a while. Louisville also run you into Dallas, Oklahoma. You want to stay anytime you're doing this. Yes, you can go into weird places, odd places, but you better get paid to do it appropriately. Because I guarantee you, like if someone sends you to South Dakota, you're coming out empty to go someplace to pick up someplace, if that makes sense. You're not going to be able to go in and think you're going to have a load waiting there for you to come back out on, because it's just not going to happen. So always go to major cities: Dallas, Texas, Kansas City, Wichita, St. Louis, Oklahoma City, Tulsa.
Yes.
And I'm naming Midwest because that's usually what I run. But like if you're on the East Coast, Virginia Beach used to be a hot spot. It's not any longer.
I know, right?
So,
yeah, Virginia Beach,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, it's just not.
I don't know what happened.
And I've got
to
a
that
lot of
route.
drivers that run back and forth between New Jersey and Virginia, like Richmond area or Fredericksburg area and stuff like that. Those loads are still there going back and forth. I just don't do it anymore. It's a lot of work for $200, $250 a car to keep your driver loaded. You're constantly booking cars, verifying cars and stuff like that. And if you want to be home every other night, it's probably the way you want to go with it. And same thing with Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, except for the weather, those run for the same thing. You can run in New Jersey. You can't usually get loads coming back though. And the Bronx area, that's the only place one of my guys who drives Bronx. He won't go any other place in New York. And usually out of the Bronx, we would run to major cities like Columbus, Cincinnati, Cleveland. I mean, those are your hot spots. Cleveland, Detroit, Cincinnati, Columbus, any place in, Louisville or Lexington would work. You'll always get paid almost $1 a mile out of those places. Those are the places we like to get into if we can.
Really great look at the map and around the country. Those were awesome, awesome recommendations. I'll tell you what, I think this was another great show. We covered a lot of information. I think we're going to call this one Stinking Red Loads because, and I can't believe how many red loads we didn't find. Doesn't that shock you? But I'm glad.
It does shock me. You should have gone to Dallas.
Oh, well, we'll pick that up next time.
Yeah,
And
Houston.
and we
Houston and
listen.
Dallas.
I want to Houston to Dallas. I want to thank everybody for joining the live chat and participating in the show today. Thank you so much for your questions, response, ideas, and praise. Sue, thank you so much for everything you do for co-hosting with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey Jen and everybody in the office, you guys take care. Luckily, luckily it's snowing outside, so the wine can only be so hot.
That's true.
And that means
It's
nobody's
not snowing here though.
And nobody's got warm coffee. I bet nobody's got warm coffee. My coffee's ice cold. I'll still drink it though. I still drink it. I don't care. I'll take that caffeine. I if it was a solid block, I'd probably chew on it. It's caffeine. Okay.
I can't do caffeine.
Thank you guys so much. We're going to wrap it up. Tomorrow is Cars on the Move. Friday at noon with Ty connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. Otherwise, Tuesday night is Carketa. That is auto transport software for the dealer. There's a transport connection there, so tune in for that. Otherwise, we'll be back in a week. 90 minutes dispatching live every Thursday at noon. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon.